Welcome to Lucas Invests, making money simple. Hi, before watching the video, click the subscribe button.
Get ready for the biggest financial event in human history. SpaceX is preparing for a massive initial public offering, targeting a mind-blowing valuation of $1.75 trillion. To put that into perspective, that is more than the value of every single American defense contractor combined. The hype is everywhere, but what nobody is telling you is that this IPO is a meticulously designed trap. Most people think SpaceX is just a rocket company that sends astronauts to space and lands boosters on ships. But they are completely wrong. SpaceX is actually three entirely different businesses stacked on top of each other. And to understand the danger of this IPO, we need to rip these three businesses apart. Business number one is the crown jewel, Starlink. This satellite internet provider is the absolute powerhouse of the company. It operates in roughly 150 countries, boasts over 10 million active subscribers, and in 2025, it generated $11.4 billion. That is 61% of SpaceX's entire revenue, operating at a massive 63% profit margin. Business number two is what made them famous, the rocket business. But here is the shocking truth. Despite all the media coverage and historic launches, the actual rocket division brought in only about a quarter of the company's revenue last year, roughly $4 billion. It's famous, but it's not the main cash cow. And then there is business number three, xAI. This is the artificial intelligence lab founded by Elon Musk that SpaceX acquired for a staggering $250 billion. But xAI is bleeding money. It is burning through more than $1 billion every single month, and all 11 of its original co-founders have already abandoned ship. So when you put it all together, the financial reality of SpaceX is terrifying. Yes, as a combined entity, they generated an impressive $18.5 billion in revenue last year. But they didn't make a profit. In fact, they suffered a devastating net loss of nearly $5 billion. Why would a company losing $5 billion a year be valued at $1.75 trillion? Because the game is rigged. To make this IPO happen, the NASDAQ exchange has literally changed its rules. They introduced a brand new rule called fast entry, specifically for SpaceX. Normally, a newly listed company has to wait 3 months to be added to the prestigious NASDAQ 100 index. Under the new fast entry rule, SpaceX gets added in just 15 trading days. But it gets worse. Previously, a company needed at least 10% of its shares available for public trading, known as a free float. NASDAQ completely removed that 10% free float requirement. Why? Because SpaceX only plans to sell a tiny 4 to 5% of its shares to the public. And to artificially pump the price, NASDAQ introduced a hidden multiplier rule, which counts the shares of companies with less than a 20% free float as 3 times larger in the index. This isn't just financial jargon. This directly impacts you. By fast-tracking SpaceX into the NASDAQ 100 with an artificially multiplied weight, every single passive index fund is forced to buy the stock. If you have a 401k or a retirement account, your money will automatically be used to buy SpaceX shares at a $1.75 trillion valuation, whether you want to or not. And here is the final trap. SpaceX is heavily targeting retail buyers, regular everyday people, aiming to allocate 30% of the IPO directly to them. Wall Street insiders know this company is burning $5 billion a year. They are using these manipulated index rules and intense media hype to offload their highly valued shares onto you. They want the public and passive retirement accounts to hold the bag. A $1.75 trillion valuation for a company losing $5 billion annually is not an investment. It is an exit liquidity strategy for early investors and founders. The media will sell you the dream of going to Mars. They will sell you the genius of Starlink. But they won't tell you the math. Don't be the retail investor who buys the absolute top of a manipulated IPO. Build real wealth through fundamentals, not hype. If this video saved you from the trap, hit that subscribe button. I expose the truth behind the financial matrix every week. See you next time.